All right, guys, so today we are going to be talking about absolute value equations and how to solve them. Now, our absolute value is those little bars. So, for example, the absolute value of x is equal to n. Now, remember, absolute value represents a distance. Okay? Now, when you consider the case where the solution is x units from 0, it goes in the negative direction and the positive direction. Okay, so for example, the equation, the absolute value of x equals 3, means that there's 2 points on this number line. That is the distance between 0 and 3. So for example, I have 0 and I go 1, 2, 3 units to the right. I go 0, 1, 2, 3 units to the left. So the two solutions to this would be x equals -3 and x equals +3. There's the way we're going to write that is in a set of numbers, -3, 3. Okay, we'll talk more about that as we're working on solving these equations. So let's take a look at our first example. Solve the absolute value of y plus 2 equals 4. Now, in this scenario, we treat these absolute value bars as if they're a grouping symbol. So really, we want to get that whole thing by itself first. Now, right now, it is by itself. So there's nothing I need to do to it. After this, after I isolate my absolute value bars, I'm going to make two equations. One equation is going to be y plus 2 equals +4. My second equation is going to be y plus 2 equals -4. Because remember, absolute value, the absolute value of something is always the positive number. Okay? So for example, y plus 2 equals 4. I'm going to go in, I'm going to subtract 2 from both sides. Y equals 2. My second equation, I'm going to also subtract 2 on both sides. So y equals -6. So my answer could be y equals a set of numbers, -6, 2. Now, this one is asking me to graph the solution set. So if I have my number line down here, I would go in and I would find -6, I would put a dot. I would find 2 and put a dot. Okay, that's my solution. Okay, I would like you to pause the video and work through the next problem. All right, hopefully you have done this problem and you are just watching this after you've already worked it. But I'm going to first look, is my absolute value isolated? Sure is. So now I can go in and make my two equations. Not in highlighter, still not in highlighter. Okay, my two equations. I have 2t, not plus, 2t minus 4 equals +8. And then I have 2t minus 4 equals -8. So again, I'm going to go in, I'm going to solve. Add 4 to both sides. Two t equals 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. Divide by 2. T equals 6. That's one solution. Add 4 to both sides. 2t equals -4. Divide by 2. T equals -2. So my solution set, T equals a set of numbers, -2, 6. Notice I always put the smaller number first and the larger number second. Now, if I'm putting this on my number line, I'm just going to go in and I'm going to say -2 and +6. That's it. Okay? So again, the biggest thing about solving absolute value equations is you're going to go in and you have to put it on the number line. Now, what happens when my absolute value is equal to a negative number? Well, realistically, no matter what, I cannot get a -1. So for example, if I have the absolute value of a -1, that equals 1. If I have the absolute value of a +1, that equals 1. There is no way that the absolute value of a number cannot equal a negative number. Okay? So for example, after you have isolated your absolute value, if it equals a negative number, your answer would just be no solution. Okay? No solution. There is no number that you can plug into that equation that is going to make that equation true because it cannot be equal to a negative number. Okay? Next, write an absolute value equation for these problems. Now, for these problems, we're kind of going to use a formula. Okay? So we have the absolute value of x minus something is equal to something else. Okay? So in this scenario, the absolute value of x minus my center point is going to be equal to half of my distance. Now I'm going to show you what that means. Okay. If I look here, I'm going to go through and I'm going to count. Okay. So I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. So my distance is 10. Okay. So I have x minus something equals to half of my distance, which is 10. Well, half of 10 is 5. Okay, half of 10 is 5. So now I can go in and I can count. I can say, okay, well, here's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. My midpoint or my center point here is 22. I'm going to go here. So the absolute value of x minus 22 is equal to 5. Let's double check this. So if I have x minus 22 equals 5, and I have x minus 22 equals negative 5, if I add 22 to both sides, I'm recording. Let me come back. Add 22 to both sides. Okay. So x is equal to 27. Over here, x would be equal to 17. So notice that matches with my absolute value graph that I have. X is equal to 17 and x is equal to 27. I want you to try this one. Pause the video. Go in and try it. Hopefully you've tried it at this point. I'm going to make my equation x minus something is equal to something else. So it's half my distance. So if I look here, my distance is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Okay, well, half of 6 is 3. So if I look, 1, 2, 3, my center point is 1. So I have the absolute value of x minus 1 is equal to 3. There's my equation. Now, the goal for you right now is to go in and you to actually solve these equations. Okay, go in, solve the equations. After you're done solving the equations, you can come back and double check your work. Okay, I'm going to go in and I'm going to solve them. I'm going to talk through them, but pause the video, work on the equation, and then you can watch me do it. All right, my first one, my absolute value bars already by itself. B over 4 is equal to 4. B over 4 is equal to negative 4. Both sides, I'm going to multiply by 4 because b over 4 is a division problem. So b equals 16. And then b equals negative 16. So my solution, b equals a set of numbers, negative 16, positive 16. All right, let's look at number 2. Again, pause, do the work, and then come back. All right, absolute value is isolated. X minus 7 equals 13. X minus 7 equals negative 13. We're going to work on the left one first. Add 7 to both sides. X is equal to 20. Add 7 to both sides. X is equal to, let's see, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13. X is 6. So my two solutions, or my solution set, the set of numbers 6, comma 20. So those little squiggly brackets, they are just squiggly brackets. They don't have to look perfect. You just don't want to make them look like parentheses. All right, let's talk about the second one, or third one, I guess. In this scenario, my absolute value bars are not isolated. I need to get them by themselves. So the first thing I need to do is I need to get rid of the 7 on the bottom. So I would actually multiply both sides by 7. So I have the absolute value of n minus 8 equals 7. At this point, this is where I would drop my absolute value bars and make two equations. So n minus 8 equals positive 7, n minus 8 equals negative 7. I can go in, can add 8 to both sides. So n equals 15. Add 8 to both sides. N equals 1. So my solution set, not x, but n in this scenario, is going to be n equals a set of numbers, 1, comma, 15. Okay. Number 3. We'll look at number 4. All right, again, I need to isolate that absolute value. I cannot do anything until that is by itself. So I need to move this 4. Because it's a minus 4, I'm going to add 4. So I have a negative 10x inside my absolute value bars is equal to 20. My two equations, negative 10x equals 20. Negative 10x equals negative 20. Divide both sides by negative 10. X equals negative 2. Divide both sides by negative 10. On that side, x equals positive 2. So my solution set, x equals the set of numbers, negative 2, comma 2. Pause, work on number 5. All right, number 5. We have inside my absolute value bars, x plus 6. So I'm going to go in. I need to get rid of this 9. So I'm going to divide both sides by 9. So the absolute value of x plus 6 is equal to 9 divided by 9 is 1. I can make two equations. X plus 6 equals 1. X plus 6 equals negative 1. Subtract 6. X equals negative 5. Subtract 6 again. X equals negative 7. So my two answers, I'm going to make a solution set. X equals the set of numbers, negative 7, comma, negative 5. All right, pause and work on your last problem. Here's my last problem. My absolute value bars are not by themselves. I need to get them by themselves. So I need to move this 3, minus 3 from both sides. So I have the absolute value of k over 5 is equal to 1. So I have k over 5 equals 1. K over 5 equals negative 1. Multiply by 5 on both sides to get that k by itself. K equals positive 5. K equals negative 5. I was making it a set of numbers. K equals negative 5, comma 5. I forgot my squiggly brackets. I'm going to go in and put those in. I don't like how that looks, so I'm going to go in and I'm going to do it again. There's a reason we have erasers. So negative 5, comma 5. There's my brackets. Done. Now, do these have an extra step in there? Yes, they do. But it's okay to have that extra step. All right. So now after you have been completely done with your notes, you're going to go in and you are going to work on the homework. Again, you are going to go in and work on the homework. Okay.